You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
Let's do a quick death pool. It's a tough world out there.
Get yourself checked. Those are definitely kosher blunts, though.
And apparently I ruined for Christmas.
You gotta be wearing your fucking nerd suit.
Oh, you mean natural butt enhancement pills?
That's right. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 247. I'm your host, John Rowe, joined by my co-hosts...
Matt Hag.
And TJ May.
TJ the May. That's fun. We're here. It's 2017, I think, when this episode
Holy
comes
shit,
out, right?
guys. Welcome to 2017, the year in which no celebrities will die at all.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about that, and I was like, you know what? This is only going to get worse.
Yeah.
As like, because we're starting to see the celebrities that were really popular in the 70s and 80s, and like back when TV started getting big in the 70s and 80s. So there's just going to be more, and it's going to get worse.
There's just more and more celebrities, and eventually it'll be like the YouTubers and stuff. Like,
I was about to say, just wait till our first YouTube celebrities die.
Yeah.
Think of how many YouTube
Boogie.
celebrities there are.
I don't know if
to
he
how
can live
many
that
like,
lifestyle. What?
compared to how many film stars were like around in the 30s.
Oh yeah, exactly.
People named film stars.
Yeah,
like,
it's over.
There's so many celebrities now. We're all connected, man.
Let's do a quick death pool for this year.
Okay.
Let's keep it morbid.
Who's left?
Who's left?
I'll tell you who's left, and you're not gonna like this.
Betty White.
George R.R. Martin.
Oh, wait. Okay, this is prediction of who you think's going to die.
I think he's gonna kill it before he finishes his books.
You think he's gonna? All right, that's a bold prediction. All right, so I won't take someone.
He's got a whole other book left after the one he's so far behind on now.
All right, so I'm not going to take... I think it's not fun to be like, oh, I'll take Betty White. Or Kirk Douglas, the steal of the draft, who is still alive and like 98 or something.
He will never die.
He will never die. So those aren't fair because they're too old.
Yep.
So you want somebody who's like in their 60s would be a surprise and sad. Yeah. Oh, boy. I'm going to say...
somebody that did coke a few decades ago.
I'm going to say Harrison Ford, and all of the memes of Princess Leia and Han Solo in heaven and shit are going to be everywhere, and it'll be insufferable.
Oh, yeah.
God. It's going to be horrible.
Is Suzanne Summers still alive?
Okay, probably. That's digging. That's a deep dive. And the best part about this is that if they do die, then you can blame us.
Yeah.
All right, Suzanne Summers is 70 and still alive. So
because she was all into the health kick. She had the thigh-master.
Sure.
And she was on
She has a weight loss website right now. A fashion website. She looks pretty good for being 70. So, you know what? That would be a surprise. So good for her. Good for you. You've seen worse. Okay. I am drinking Evan Williams Single Barrel Vintage Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This bottle, barrel number 58. This is all handwritten in pen on the back. Barreled on 4/16/08, bottled on 6/1/16. So, this baby spent 8 years in the barrel. And now I'm drinking it. That's good. I love bourbon. I think that might be my favorite drink. Does that make me like a...
Stone do you think's gonna die first?
Which Rolling Stone?
Yeah.
I think it can't be Keith Richards. Also, Keith Moon died. Does that count? Or no, Keith Moon's the other guy.
No.
He's the Who.
No. I mean, next.
Oh, man. What Beatle is going to die first? Which Beatle? Ringo or Paul?
Which of the remaining two?
This
Ringo.
is hashtag morbid.
Paul.
You think Paul? Is he older?
I think Ringo is just more chilled out and like...
It's a lifestyle thing.
Yeah, like Paul's just kind of high strung, and I think that takes its toll over time.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I mean, he had like his wife died like what 15 years ago or something. Like, when did she die? Linda.
I don't know. How many wives has he had?
Well, he had been with Linda McCartney forever. You know, they did Wings together.
Yeah.
And she died in 1998. She was married from 1969 to 1998 to Paul McCartney.
Jeez.
I know. It's terrible. Terribly sad. Let's see here. How did she die? Breast cancer. Get checked for breast cancer, ladies. That's sad. That goes for...
men can get that, too.
That's showing you. She was a vegetarian since 1975. That shit does not stop cancer. So even if you think you're eating healthy and whatever, get yourself checked. That's my thing. 2016. It's over. 2017. Take care of yourselves, y'all. It's a tough world out there.
Get yourself checked.
2017. Check yourself. That's
anyone know?
That's it right there. That's 2017. Check yourself.
Does anyone know what age we have to start getting prostate checks? Because that's probably coming up.
Oh,
40.
It's 50 unless you have risk factors. Then it's 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 50's colon.
See you in 20 years, doctor.
So I think I'll probably get colon cancer screening pretty soon. Let me think about that.
This is the worst podcast ever.
No,
what is the colon cancer screening age? 50, but I think that there is a history of colon cancer in my family, so they probably will do it at 40. I got 10 years.
Yeah, you don't really need your colon anymore. They can make a new one.
Yeah, can I get a Robo-colon?
Yeah.
That's the episode name. That's it's
just like
literally the shittiest robot imaginable.
System. You get your whole digestive system overhauled to be like 100% efficient. It's like a little fusion reactor in there.
Yeah, that'd be good though, because that could help you, like, stay healthy too. It'll stop the extra fat from getting back in the system. So I have Robo-colon, hashtag Robo-colon, but the Robo-colon's catchphrase is literally, we're the shittiest robot ever made. That's it. I don't know. So get yourself checked, huh? Healthcare might be going away, so
you wreck yourself.
Check yourself before the healthcare gets taken away.
Oh yeah, I'm
so
super worried.
I would not be worried. I mean, you know what? Who knows? You can't predict anything nowadays. But I would say, I think it's going to be a hard sell for the government to be like, hey, let's take away healthcare from all these people that are paying you money now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's going to be a hard sell to companies that employ people.
Yeah,
saying, hey, you're going to make less money now.
Like, insurance companies came out pretty good on Obamacare.
Well,
they're not going to let go without a fight.
They've been fairly not vocal but pushy about, hey, just so you know, we don't want people to lose health care because that's less business for us. So we'll see. I honestly think that it's funny that most of the... I don't want to get too political because we don't need that in 2017. But honestly, I think the people... most of the stuff I've seen is like, all right, we're going to repeal it and replace it with a system that's almost exactly the same.
Romney care.
Great. You really did something big here. You just wanted to slap your own name on it. Whatever, man. I don't give a shit.
He meant that he was going to metaphorically repeal Obamacare.
Yeah.
You're taking him too literally.
Yeah. Well, they're going to be like, oh, man, but we can't. The judges, we can't. Like, dude, you can change it. No, it's too much, It sucks, but we can't do anything about it, even though we control everything. Yeah. I don't know, whatever. I mean, here's the situation. I think that if you do have the government health care, you're good for 2017 and possibly 2018. with the way that it's been planned out. So if a worst case scenario, you'll have a 2 years notice to try and figure something out. So whatever. Let's not talk about the bad things in 2017. Let's talk about what we've been up to. It's the holidays. Huh?
It's the holidays.
Jolly holidays.
Happy holidays. Adam's not here. Adam's on day. What is it? The 8 days of lights.
8 crazy nights.
8 crazy nights. What is it called? The Festival of Lights?
Jambalaya?
Yeah, you're talking about Hanukkah?
No, the Festival of Getting Lit, my bros.
Oh, you gotta give me a warning on that. Can we let's cut and take another take of that?
No.
And action.
Festival of Getting Lit, my bros.
Smoke weed every day.
Oh,
Heyo.
shit. Yep, the Festival of Lit. Yeah.
Hey, he only had enough of that sweet, sweet ganj for one night, but it lasted 8 nights.
I have Google image search menorah bong, and oh yeah.
You know that's gotta exist.
Oh, this
Oh,
article
man.
on forward.com. Make your high last for 8 days with this bong menorah. Fuck yeah. Also, I like this Tumblr post of a man in a yarmulke smoking what appears to be 9 blunts at once through some sort of menorah blunt holder. So, all right, whatever you need to do to get through the holidays, I appreciate
And
that.
those are definitely kosher blunts, though. So,
Oh
you don't
yeah,
have to be-
no animals, no blood of any animals was in this. But actually, this menorah bong is pretty insane because I think the idea is that you fill up like each one of the little chambers for each day, and then when you light the candle, you smoke it for each night. So
Not to get too far off topic, but going back to SEO, because
we're already
all SEO and whatnot.
way off topic.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're hashtag SEO sensitive.
2017, the year of off topic.
No, the year of SEO.
I think when I subscribed to your YouTube channel, you had like 6 subscribers.
Yeah,
You got 17. What happened?
I know. I'm gonna be monetizing like a bitch. I still can't use the monetization because of something that happened on my website like 7 years ago.
We are
so-
going to start doing social experiments where we're just dicks to homeless people and
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna do the pranks in the hood where we go up to like black areas and then step on people's shoes and be like, man, all these people sure are a bunch of thugs because they get real mad when I kick them. Like, okay, that's a thing on YouTube, by the way. And it's like, oh, black people are crazy because we're being terrible to them. And yeah, look up Joey Salads. He's a horrible
I
monster
saw
person.
a YouTube ad for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Because I was on a computer that didn't have ad block. But it was like, we're going to do a social experiment with Tide. I was like, just die. Just
Tide?
Yeah,
Brands?
Yeah.
Hashtag brands are getting in on the social experiments?
it's the Tide
It must have been
challenge,
some like YouTuber person that I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
But so how come there's no prank videos where they're kicking babies? I'm just saying, if they're gonna bring it to its logical conclusion,
Yeah.
baby kicking.
Yeah, let's just. All right, here we're going to do a social experiment. We're going into this neighborhood. All right, there's a stroller. I'm going to throw it down a hill. Like, what?
All right. Social
Ridiculous.
experiment. I'm going to go into this neighborhood and just fucking murder people.
That's going to happen.
It is.
You gotta do it ridiculous with CG like Nukazuka's channel does.
Yeah.
So you kick a baby and like flies 500 feet in the air.
Yeah, so it's obviously fake. You know what I like? is that we're turning. This is like the world we live in is just more and more rapidly turning into an episode of Black Mirror. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I watched all of that over this week, so I got all caught up.
Dude, the more I think about it, the more I'm okay with living in the 15 million credits future. Where I'm just in my own little box and nobody bothers me.
And you
And
just have to like
there's
work out on
advertisements constantly.
work out on a treadmill every day. It sounds fun.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can
I'd
be a porn
so
star.
fit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the way out.
No, we'd be that other guy.
Yeah. Which one?
We talk about bullshit.
Oh,
so.
okay. That's true. That's true. We'd be recording a podcast. We'd all meet together and talk about how fucked up the system is, sponsored by the system.
Yep.
Let's see. Boy, so have you guys watched all the latest season of Black Mirror?
I don't have Netflix.
Okay.
Not all of it. I think I have
Fair enough.
like a couple episodes left.
But if you do have... Oh, really? So you haven't seen the last two? I was going to talk about the last one, which is pretty good. Which actually has a lot to do with social media.
Episode I saw was that like virtual reality death. Like,
oh, really? So you haven't even
bet
seen
that-
San Junipero?
no, that's the one I'm talking about. Not the gamer one, but like
Not the game.
virtual
The
world.
game one was cool too. Shit, that was
was
a good.
cool, yeah.
It was a good season. I think the second to last episode is a bit of a downer in terms of. I get the message it's trying to get across, but they stretch the premise a little thin for my tastes. But the last episode in the season kind of has to do with social media and kind of Twitter piling on, shame pile-ons, and deadliness of that, like hashtag death to so-and-so, and then those people start dying. And something, I don't know. It's a mystery thing, but it's pretty cool, actually. It's an hour and a half long.
If you don't want any Black Mirror spoilers, don't listen for the next 2 seconds. But
2
with
seconds?
San Junipero, I was really happy to have like an actual happy ending to an episode.
Oh,
where
I
it
know.
wasn't just like, holy shit, we're all fucked and everyone's gonna die.
Yeah. I totally agree, because it was like... And I remember people talking about that, and it was like, did you have like a fucked up ending for that? It was like, no. We just wanted to tell a really cool story that had a really neat ending. It did. So I want to talk about San Junipero for a little bit.
Okay.
Matt, let's say that
Yes.
system exists.
So
A, do
for
you
people
do
who
it?
haven't seen it,
Yes.
This is like
a spoiler, but
this is
not
like
really a spoiler.
well, we should just explain kind of the basics of what it is.
There's no real twists in this episode. It just kind of is all slowly revealed to you, kind of how everything works. So it's not
Yeah.
as much of a
So
detriment.
San Junipero is like this matrix that you go into. You can go into it while you're still alive, and then you have the option to just upload yourself as you're dying to just live there forever.
And it seems mostly to be like elderly people once a week get a shot to like join up and spend a weekend night partying in San Junipero, which is like a party
themed
town.
for like whatever your decade was. So this took place mostly in the 80s.
Yes. No, that's even what's even cooler. And my question is that A, would you do it? Yes, obviously.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I
Well,
would
let's
do
explain
it,
it.
but I have some reservations.
Okay. Well, I want to get to explaining it fully so TJ can join in.
Okay, yeah.
So you're like an elderly person, and then when you die, you can chose to pass over and basically like take your consciousness and put it into fully in the matrix
in the digital space.
in
Okay.
the digital space in San Junipero, the party town, and you live there not just one weekend, night a week, but always and forever. And they actually say you have the option to shut yourself off if you want to. In there, you always can turn yourself off if forever is too long.
Mm-hmm.
But so, would you do that? Would you upload your consciousness when you're dying?
100%.
Me too.
Now,
Not a
does
question.
Does your consciousness continue to explore, change? You still live as you would just in the digital world.
I don't think you age or anything, but it seemed
Yeah,
like
you
you
don't
could.
age.
You can do quite a bit there though, because one of the characters kind of explores a new romance and kind of changes her personality a little bit. So
Yeah,
It seems like
your
a
brain continues to progress.
yes. It seems like that. So this takes place in like a party resort town. It looks like probably got to be. I don't even want to. No, maybe like Gulf of Mexico, somewhere around there. One of those party towns, because there's kind of a seaside view.
Yeah, more like Southern California.
Yeah, Southern California, or like, like Texas, whatever those beaches are. Like, I forget the name of those towns down there. You know what I'm talking about? Spring break
The ones
town
that were
kind of
going to
thing.
build the wall.
Spring break, woo!
Yeah, exactly. So, it's pretty cool. But the idea is that there is the decades that they show off. So, like, the town is themed per decade. You can choose where you want to visit. And so they only show stuff 1980, 1987, 89. What is it? 87.
Yeah,
right?
something late 80s.
I think it's
don't
87.
remember.
So there's 80, 87, 96, and 2002. And, like, the club that you're shown kind of is themed. Like, the music is from that era. The, clothes and everything, everyone dresses up like from that era. Like, there's like an arcade with video games from that era. They kind of show like Pac-Man in 1980, and then 87 is like, the kind of classic like Street Fighter, those early like
Outrun.
almost 16-bit games, like the Sega Genesis era, like arcade games. 96, of course, shows stuff. 2002's got DDR and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. What era do you plant yourself in for eternity if you had to pick one of those eras? I know what mine would be without a question.
I would definitely go to the 90s. I would listen to grunge. I would wear plaid. I would play like Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And just
I don't know. I'm feeling
probably
87.
start doing heroin.
87, straight up, TJ.
I'm feeling 87.
100%.
You give me a super outrun, I'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean, like, I think 87 for me is perfect because the music is great. Like, the 80s music for dancing is great. It's pretty carefree, Mm-hmm. 1996, the music in the club is a little dour.
96 is later. I would prefer like 92, 93.
92? I can get with that. I can get with that because then you still kind of have some of the carefree fun of the 80s, but the technology's a little better.
I mean, if I was going to go, I would probably jump to 02 just because, 99 through 02 had a lot of good club music too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think
ideally I'd like to just be able to travel around though.
Yeah, I think that they actually talked about that. They're like, did you pick your era yet? Or like which one, so you kind of have time to browse when you're an old person, which one you want, and then you kind of get picked. I have to imagine you should be able to switch between them. Because if you're alive and you can switch between them, I don't see why having your consciousness uploaded, switching between them would be too difficult. But I think 87 or 1980 would be my favorite. Oh, I just love, yeah. Anyway,
So let's talk about the transporter paradox a little bit.
Okay, what's that?
So like the Star Trek transporter,
Oh.
where it destroys you and reassembles you.
Yes.
And there's this big question of whether that thing that comes out the other end is the same you or if it's just a perfect copy. So if your consciousness gets uploaded, is that you or is it just a perfect copy?
So I totally have the answer to this, and it came with a book that I read, and it's called Old Man's War. It's a John Scalzi novel. And he actually explains in sci-fi terms what happens. So the book Old Man's War is an incredibly awesome fucking book, and I recommend any sci-fi fan to read it. It's relatively new. The idea is that when you retire, you can choose to retire or enlist in the military at like age 76 or whatever it is in the 70s, and you get sent up to like a spaceship, and you get to join like the Planetary Defense Force. And what they do is they give you a genetically engineered body that they transfer your consciousness into, so you're like young again. And basically, if you survive your like 10 years of service, you get to live out the rest of your life in this new body. And people are like, well, I was going to die anyway. I give this a shot. And so the way that this works, and it seemed like the most possible, is that the copy that you have has a working brain inside it. And so what happens is they transfer your consciousness and upload it to both brains, so it's running in both brains. Like it would be like if you had a RAID hard drive where it was running 2 copies at the same time and everything was connected. And then they connect everything, and then they shut one of them off and they leave the other one on. So it'd be like having both eyes open, or one eye open, and then opening up your second eye and then closing the first eye. Your consciousness is always around. It's just like a different part. It's like it would be like shutting off a part of your body. You know what I mean? So that made sense to me. So you never lose consciousness throughout the whole thing.
So in San Junipero land, it would be kind of like we hook you up as you're dying, and you're just kind of co-conscious with the machine, and then your body dies.
I think that's how the machine consciousness thing has to do, is where you have to be conscious in both systems, and then one of them shuts off. And so
it's got to be kind of a Ship of Theseus thing where it's just like slow, like bit by bit, it's replaced until suddenly you're all the way in the machine. Exactly,
and you're conscious for the whole transfer. So I think that, like, because I had never thought of it that way before, but when I read that, I was like, that totally makes sense. Like you would just stay conscious while we transferred it over, and then when it's fully transferred over, you're still conscious on both sides, and we shut one down. Okay, you're still conscious over here. You know, it's like making a backup copy that you're uploaded to, and then they turn off the original, but you're still on the backup. And you're like, all right. But I don't know. Who knows? That's something crazy. Yeah, but the transporter paradox is like, when you get like teleported, you're gone. Like, because you can't maintain a consciousness.
I actually just watched a video about something similar to this.
Okay.
Yeah. Minute Physics had a much longer video recently called "True Cloning," like a perfect cloning can't happen. And we're talking about like molecule per molecule, spin per spin.
Okay.
Is that we can make good enough copies.
Uh-huh.
And we're not talking biological cloning. We're talking about cloning.
Okay.
Like, true everything for everything.
Yep.
Like replicator stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Perfect copy violates quantum physics as we know it. The only way to actually make something a perfect copy, we either have to have a lot of exact copies to begin with, have to know exactly what's going in before it goes in. It's not something like we can make a machine two of that perfectly. I won't get into the math of that, even though it actually is not super related to superpositions.
Okay. Yep, I know that.
But, so it's just the idea that the superpositions math doesn't work that way, where we can if we know exactly bit by bit ahead of time, we can just make a problem. And they talked about at the end that even though that can, put something in and get 2 out, the idea of that teleportation, where you put something into one and then something comes out of another, but the first thing doesn't exist, that can happen, doesn't violate quantum mechanics.
Okay. So it is possible.
It is possible, theoretically.
Physics, like math-wise, but...
Yes.
Huh. That is... Well, physics are weird. There's so many, things you're like, that can't happen, but... all the
Especially
quantum
when you
mechanics
get down to
stuff.
quantum, that none of that just makes sense.
I mean, the minute physics actually gets a little bit of the math, but very basic, easy to understand. We're basically just talking about pluses and multiplies, quantum physics. It makes sense in the video because he's really good at simplification.
Yeah. Oh man.
I love that guy.
That shit is, YouTube's got some really cool channels like that. Minute Physics. What was that? There was one I just subscribed to. I know a listener had turned me on to Captain Disillusion, which was pretty cool.
Kurzgesagt.
That's the one. Kurzgesagt.
That one. I love that.
In a nutshell. That guy's awesome.
Gesagt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think his first name is Kurz.
Sure. Kurzgesagt. They're really...
they're German, so...
Yeah, really well produced like animation videos though. Like it's some awesome stuff.
There's a lot of people that take part that actually work on that, so it's amazing what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I listened to CGP Gray's podcast, and he did a collaboration with them. And he was talking about how like his videos usually take about a month, and theirs took like 6 months.
Huh.
John, are you playing Minecraft right now?
No, I'm looking at pictures of dogs for some reason. So the thing is that I opened up.
A lot of clicking,
I opened up. The thing is I opened up a link to look up the name of that thing, and then there was a bunch of pictures of dogs, and that was it. I was goodbye for a while. No, but
Goodbye, John.
I'm sorry.
Let the dogs out. John did.
I'm back on our Born in the 80s document. This is the last time we're using it, because then we have to move to a Byte Notes 2017 document. We'll see.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, let me talk about something I did. So we talked a little bit about Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys all see Rogue One yet?
No.
I did.
Remember, a month ago, I just saw episode 7.
Oh, okay. So you're a little behind.
Yeah, quite a bit. But, I know a bit.
No spoiler territory then. Fair enough.
I want to at least hear your reaction. Well, I mean, not, hot takes in general, but I want to see how you guys felt about it. Because I've heard some things, and I want to hear
Matt.
how you guys...
I liked it a lot. It was really cool. And I liked it a lot.
All right. What do you think my reaction is?
I thought you were going to hate it.
Okay. What do you think
thought that
after
you were gonna
seeing
be
it?
Well, I did talk to you about it, so I know
Yes.
you liked it.
Oh.
So from what I'm hearing, at least from other sources, it's kind of the action-y that we missed in episode 7. It's
I-
the space action we love.
Fucking loved this movie.
And it's a story of people.
It was exactly. It was a story of everyday, like, rogue, rebel people and the fucking just death struggle that it is to survive in destroying the Empire. It just is gritty. It felt like someone, I said it felt like Saving Private Ryan to me. Like, it was just kind of this thankless struggle,
Especially
suicide mission.
when they're in that beach environment doing the big like climax battle, like that just has kind of a storming the beach thing going on. And it was a weird, like, tonally it was sort of Saving Private Ryan, sort of samurai movie, also in Star Wars land.
Yeah, I'm hearing that Jin, and this is the way everyone's describing her to me. Great lead. It's not saying she's a great female lead. No, she is the role. It's not that male, female, whatever. She does well. And then who directed this one?
This was Gareth Edwards, director of the famously beloved Godzilla reboot from last year.
I liked that. It was fun.
But it did not give me hope for Star Wars. But clearly the guy knew what he was doing. Because this movie was fairly well directed. There's a Popular Mechanics article that I agree with here. It says Rogue One is actually a World War II movie, and it kind of goes into how the way it was shot. It really felt like a war movie. And another book / movie that reminds me of this a lot was Guns of Navarone, which is a British 1961 World War II film about like this giant German fortress, and we've got this ragtag group of British are they soldiers? Yes. A bunch of British soldiers are marooned in Turkey, and they got to be rescued, and it's just this like kind of like insurmountable like suicide mission to try and do this, and it's awesome, so
I can't wait until the
big fan.
Apocalypse Now Star Wars movie on the forest moon of Endor.
Oh, I know. Oh, did you see that they're actually shooting a direct sequel to this movie?
Are they?
George Lucas is directing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give him one more shot.
Yeah, I think it's going to be called Episode 4, A New Hope.
Da-da-da-da-da.
No. It's true though. I saw that post
Here's
and I was
the
like,
sound
"What?"
of that
And I was
joke.
like,
That is great.
and I was like, "Yeah." Let's see here. George Lucas actually came up with the idea, or initially, to do like a standalone companion.
You know, I like to
movie.
say it the French way. I think it's Georges Lucas.
Yeah. Here we go. Look at this. The movie directors say that they, the Dam Busters, which was a British kind of movie similar, and Guns of Navarone as things that they looked at. Apparently, they used period lenses, so they used filters to make the movie look more 70s and 80s, you know, and the color palette. So
Yeah.
this is
so
this, you want to
Snapchat filters. We got this.
You want to hear some
This had to
awesome?
be shot digitally, right?
It was, yes. You want to hear some awesome shit though? They did shoot digitally, but all of the scenes set in Yavin 4 were filmed on the original Yavin 4 set, still in England. So that's pretty badass. Same exact fort. You know what I liked about the movie and disliked?
Yavin 4 is where the like meeting center rebel base is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to say this too. Yeah, that's the main rebel base. Okay, so one of the problems I had with the episode 7 was that it was a little bit too fan servicey, and it's like trying to push the Star Wars references onto you a little bit. You know, like, hey, remember this? Oh, like this? Oh, this is like this, and that. This movie did that, and those were the worst parts, but they were so not as integral to the story. Like there were a couple moments where it's like, all right, like do we really need to do we really need
Pig face guy from Mos Eisley.
to show up in the city that's about to be destroyed? So not only did they escape, unlike most of the other people, and our protagonist barely escaped, but they ended up in Mos Eisley, of course. Which actually makes some
And
sort
not
of...
that much later. Like
Yeah.
only probably maybe a week later.
Yeah, exactly. Because the movie is butted right up to the start of A New Hope. Like, that's another thing I really liked about it, is the movie basically ends, and they're like, "Oh, this is where A New Hope begins." Like a week later, probably. So, holy shit!
I won't say it because it's. I want it to be a surprise for anyone that hasn't seen it yet. But the thing, you know, the thing with the hallway, John.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it,
Oh,
but I'll tell you this: you get to see Darth Vader in action.
Yeah.
Oh.
I heard.
And it's the original voice, and he sounds and looks just like Darth Vader. And boy, other than my brother pointing this out, there's a moment in the movie where he makes a weird dad joke, and you're like,
yeah, but he did that in the original trilogy too.
did he?
Well, apology accepted, Captain Nita, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like,
I suppose you're right. That one was a little
And
bit
you have
too
to
dad
remember-
jokey.
you have to remember, he's still growing out of his Anakin phase.
That's literally
So
what my
he's-
response was. I was like,
cheesy back.
yeah, you do understand that Hayden Christensen's underneath there, so I could see little Annie making a joke like that. No, it was really good overall. Definitely my favorite out of all of the non-original 3 movies. Just good. I don't think Lance liked it, and I guess I'll
Really?
get to talk to him about it. I don't know. He said, we got to talk about Rogue One. Hoo boy. That could be good, could be bad. I don't know if he likes or dislikes it, but
I mean, I like his takes on stuff because he's got quite a different lens he watches his movies through.
yeah. Well, if it's got a woman in it, he doesn't like it.
Oh, really?
I know. I
Like,
rag
he's
on him.
always saying that people are Mary Sue's and whatever.
I don't think he's actually ever used those token words, but
No.
no, he's got an interesting perspective. I usually agree with Lance on a lot of things, but his stance on the Mad Max movie is irreconcilable to me.
Wait, you
because-
didn't like it?
No, that movie's incredible. Like
It is
I don't know how you can dislike it. It's close to as a perfect movie as you can get. Like, holy crap. And so it's like, okay, I don't know why he's like way into Mad Max, and so I think he was pissed that Mad Max wasn't the main character and he couldn't get over that.
Yeah, but there's so much
He
more to
is
that
the
world,
main
though.
character though. Like I don't get why you wouldn't get over that. He is the story follows him exclusively. Like I don't know what you're talking about. He just doesn't happen to be the most ass-kicking person in the movie. Anyway,
It happens.
It happens. Sometimes
there's-
you meet somebody more badass than you.
There's a lot to that world.
Oh my god, that fucking movie is so good. All right, let's see.
Think we'll see more of I'm going to say this wrong. Chirrut Imwe and Baze Melbus in more of the like maybe the Han Solo standalone or something, like more of the prequel stuff.
Yeah, I'm less excited for a Han Solo standalone.
Yeah.
I like it when it's new stuff that's not trying to like horn in on like I don't know, nostalgia. It's like, oh, we're doing our own. That's what I liked about this one. It was like literally we've got our own really cool war story we want to tell that kind of ties in with stuff that's happening. But the other thing. So the CG Grand Moff Tarkin was weird and kind of gross, and I didn't like it because it really.
I felt that way in the first scene, but by the time
Maybe you just got used to it.
I guess I was used to it, or I was invested enough in the movie that I just didn't notice it or something.
Yeah, it was definitely noticeable for me, and I was like, they probably should have tried to do this a different way. But whatever, it's the way the movie is. It makes sense. He was kind of the big cheese around at that time, so. But he's been dead for a long time, so I don't know.
Yes.
I guess they couldn't write their way around it. Let's see. No, but the... Oh, fuck. I'm drinking too much bourbon. I lost my train of thought.
What they should have done is made him a hologram.
Yeah, they could have
Like,
done that.
He's
They could have
calling,
done
and that would have covered up so many sins.
So
Like,
it's totally. They could have even coached it as, I will be arriving in a week. Like, give me a status report. Like, and it'd be like... And then he's like, "Oh, well,
I will claim responsibility for my Death Star."
Exactly, and he could do that over the thing. And he's like, "You're not even here," and he's like, "Well, no one will know that, shortly." So, yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, but one good piece of nostalgia I totally remembered was when they have the final space battle, which is one of the best Star Wars space battles in a long time. I'm talking like Battle of Endor style, awesome, just Death Star does show up, but like just the battle of Star Destroyers and Imperial versus Alliance, just dogfighting, just awesome. Like, oh, that's like my favorite thing as a kid. So seeing that done well and big, because there wasn't really much of that in Force Awakens. There's a little bit, but holy cow, they had shots that were unused from A New Hope of Biggs Darklighter, and I can't remember Gold One
stuff.
But anyway, Gold One and Red Leader, from the original series, like A New Hope, who die at the Death Star, they had clips of them being like, Red Leader checking in, Gold Leader. And it was like, oh shit, that's the original people. Like, but they would be there because this was, a couple weeks before that happened,
Yep.
like they were part of the Rebel Alliance, and seeing them, it really kind of hit home. I got a little misty eyed because I was like, oh man, that they're gonna die soon. Like shit, this is their successful mission. That brought it back for me. Seeing the unused footage reused was pretty cool. So, I don't know, great movie. My parents loved it too. They saw it as well. So
Yeah,
that's a recommendation.
I saw it with my dad. I was going in and I was like, "Don't. This is its own separate story, so you don't have to remember anything." Because he's seen a lot of the other Star Wars movies, but he doesn't think about it ever, so he doesn't retain it. But this was the one that I could go in there's the fan service, but you don't have to know any of the stuff around it. It's its own self-contained story, and he thought it was awesome.
I want to coach it this way. I'm rag on The Force Awakens all the time. I didn't hate that movie. I thought it was fun. I liked it. It was okay. I just was kind of disappointed that it wasn't more of its own thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the parent that's like, it's a B plus. Why isn't it an A? Like, you know what I mean? I just expect so much from my beloved Star Wars.
It had to be what it was, or we would have never gotten Rogue One.
To be fair, it's tough to judge that movie because we haven't seen the trilogy. You know, like, there could be things that happen in that movie that pay off big time, you know, later on. So it's kind of like one of those things that's like, it's hard to judge at this point. So anyway, Rogue One was great. Like, highly recommended.
So, on the patented Born in the 80s rating scale,
Oh, God.
what did you guys give it?
Born in the 80s.
It's going to be a 4 out of 5. I can't give out
4?
5 stars too much.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Four radies out of 5. Okay.
Yeah. I think my brother made some good points when I talked to him after the movie. He was... this kind of had the same problem Force Awakens was, where there isn't really a chance to let anything breathe, you know? Everything's just moving, which kind of is forced by the plot mechanics, you know? They got to do this, like, right now. But it does... There's not a lot of, like... They're missing one scene in the ship where everyone kind of gets to know each other a little bit. Just if they had that one scene, I think it would have been like a lot more perfect. But I loved it. It was great. So, small nitpicks, but it's a 4 out of 5. It's not a perfect movie, but it's great. Like, one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
I agree.
Loved it. Okay, fuck. Christmas happened, huh? What's your guys' Christmas haul? Hashtag Christmas haul.
Oh.
Um,
I'll start.
I
I'll
got-
start.
Okay.
You go ahead.
So, let's see. What did I get for me? It wasn't a lot. I got Rock Band Rivals. Well,
Okay.
technically, I got it as a vendor gift, and I'm like, here, wrap this up and give it to me. So, I already got it for free for work.
Nice.
And I didn't have ideas for people to get things for me, so I just
Yeah.
hey, wrap this up for me. And then
Yeah.
I also bought T-shirts for myself that I had wrapped up for me as well.
That's kind of what happens when you become an adult, you know? You just kind of...
I should have got socks. I need socks. I love socks. New socks.
Yeah,
are
I got
awesome.
socks. I got T-shirts. I got a very nice big and tall like dress shirt with like Egyptian cotton, like super nice fancy dress shirt and an extra long tie from Lauren. And I got clothes. I got a little mini basketball hoop, Milwaukee Bucks from her parents, and a tool set, which is pretty cool. Actually, I was like, I need more tools, so now I can fix more things and be a man. I love fixing things. Do you guys like fixing things?
I
Yes.
do. I like fixing
Oh my
things.
god! When like
Even
the faucet's just clogged, I love like just getting in there, using a plunger to like clean out the hair that's gotten stuck in there, and then it like drains. I'm like, fuck! I did it. I'm a man. I fixed the drain.
I did the thing.
I did a thing. Or a door is coming off its hinge, and I can replace the screws. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Door opens better now. I'm a man.
Replacing a taillight light bulb.
Yeah,
Watch the
stuff
video
like
on
that.
YouTube how to do that.
Nice. That's how everything is now, though. When I
Yeah,
think of my dad fixing shit in our house growing up, I'm like, how did you do this? Like, I'm like,
Winter,
yeah,
my
go.
car door, like the locking mechanism, froze into like the latch position, so my door wouldn't close when I was slamming it shut. So I had my phone. I was looking up on YouTube. I looked up the like make and model of my car and frozen door latch, and
Yeah.
it was just go in here, put a pen in there, jam it this way. How would I have done this? I would have had to leave my car unlocked overnight if I didn't have YouTube.
It's crazy because like when I look up to fix something, I immediately just Google it, and then I either get like a step-by-step instruction with pictures or a YouTube video of somebody doing it, and I'm like, all right.
That is one thing to kind of consider about our world nowadays. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily about how much information an individual knows. It's how quickly we can parse and get the right information
Yeah.
from the infinite knowledge of the internet.
Yeah, yeah.
Information. It's not necessarily all true. So
Yes,
getting
exactly.
the right stuff
Yeah.
from the internet.
Yes, that's kind of like Huh. That's kind of like, I was just thinking, like, we're kind of in a post-truth world now, and maybe that's part of it, is that we don't have things that we learn in books and keep to ourselves. Everything we learn comes from the internet, and it's pretty easy to sway people one way or another, you know?
I mean, all right, let's do a thought experiment really quick, because
Okay.
it's less about memory nowadays and
Yes.
all about being able to find information.
Are you saying we want to do a Google or Wikipedia race?
No. I just
Oh.
want you to think. This is a thought experiment.
Okay.
Okay, I don't want you to say this out loud.
Okay.
All right, think of who your best friend was in 5th grade. 5th grade. What's their phone number?
I don't
Do you
even
know
know the phone numbers of any of the people that I talk to now.
Wait,
Yep.
I'm Facebook friends with this person.
I'm not saying to find it. I'm just saying, do you remember it? Because back when we were younger, we remembered everyone's phone numbers.
I will tell you this,
Yeah.
is that I don't remember 5th grade, but like maybe 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah,
If I
'cause you do a
wanted
lot
to
more
call
calling
up,
then.
if I wanted to call up so and so, I knew that number by heart, and I would dial it. Like, I would just get on the phone and dial it. I doubt that he has
But
his
think
phone
about
number.
how much
Of course.
space that was taking up in our brains. Now we have all that extra space that we can devote to like neurosis and existential dread and feelings of hopelessness.
That's right.
Matt, let's do it this way. Do your parents still have the same phone number when they were from when you were younger?
Yep,
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I'll never forget.
All right, TJ, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Christmas in retail. Is there a story behind that? Because I see some text there.
Best
wanna hear this.
holiday or bestest
Oh.
holiday?
I want to hear this story.
Oh.
I fucked that up.
Let's. I mean, I didn't have a specific story, but now I have a specific story, so we'll talk about this.
Yeah.
We'll talk about my last guest on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Now, when you say guest, what you really mean is asshole, right?
Well, what you really mean is customer.
I don't have. I don't.
You just have guests
employees.
that
I have
give you money
associates.
in return for goods and services.
Fair enough, but
Customer.
that's not my only interaction with them. I do try to be genuine.
Of course.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Unless genuine is rage, and
Yeah.
that rage kind of basically perspired from myself for like the next 2 hours after close. So I had a quote unquote guest, which I hate when people say it that way because it actually is quote guest unquote.
Exactly.
There we go. So
It's like when people are bragging and they say they're humbled.
yep.
Yeah.
But anyway, so basically, it was this lady. I believe it was her like adult son, who kind of looked like the kind of guy who you'd pat down to make sure your wallet's still there.
Right.
I'm really not stereotyping, but he just had. I had this feeling.
Well,
emanating
this
from
is
him.
Illinois we're talking about.
This is Illinois we're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's someone who lives in Illinois, so immediately
And-
they're a criminal.
And my GameStop is right next to the city.
Okay.
It's practically Chicago now. And then her 3 snotty kids. I think 3 kids.
Yeah.
There's at least 2, but they were all whatever. So they bring 2 bags worth of stuff. It was
To trade in?
To trade in.
Of course.
This is the last 40 minutes I'm open before I'm closed for Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
2 PlayStation 3s. Between the 2 systems, now we need all the stuff to take this. Okay? Between the 2 systems, we have 1 controller. That controller doesn't have an L1, like it's gone, physically gone, and a little bit of the shell is cracked. We have 1 power cable and 2 HDMI cords. That's it. No chargers,
Uh-huh.
no nothing.
Nothing.
We have a bunch of boxes of new accessories that looks like they just got like the day before, that appears it was accessories that were probably nicked or stolen from GameStops. That apparently, no, Grandma bought these things for them for PlayStation 4s that they don't currently have. All the price tags gone. All of them actually ripped open in a way that looks like we just wanted to show that they were open, or they got too excited at Christmas, so we're kind of ripping them out.
Yeah.
But not really. All the stuff was perfectly in the case, just the box was ripped.
Uh-huh.
And I want to say maybe 5 or 6 PlayStation 3 games, all disgusting. One of the PlayStation 3 systems had a melt mark on the bottom.
Ugh.
One of them was just coated in dust.
Yeah.
Between all of that and all the work I would actually have to do to take this stuff in, I think we got her a total of like $40. She was expecting to get enough between all of that stuff and all those new accessories, including stuff we don't buy back.
Yeah.
So take advantage of our buy 2 get 1 free pre-owned sale and buy 3 pre-owned PS4s.
Why do you need 3 PS4s?
1 for each of the kids.
Okay, yes, of course. Each kid needs their own console. Yep. That's the
Apparently,
world we live in.
Her adult son said that, before they came in, said that, they'd probably get $100 for each of those PlayStation 3s.
Uh-huh, nope.
And probably about $200 for all the accessories and games.
Nope.
No. With the stuff I was able to take, it was like $45.
This is like the kind of stuff that happens with...
And apparently I ruined her Christmas.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of one of those things that's like you're planning a Christmas around pawning stuff, basically. You know what I mean? Like you're planning... And they never. It blows my mind when people, like, if you watch like Pawn Stars and stuff, you're like, well, you could sell that for $100. Where's my 100? It's like, no, we don't buy it for what we sell it for. We would not make money.
We don't have zero overhead.
Yeah, we have to take, buy it for half what we're going to sell it for or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much PS3s are worth, but not much. I'm sure they're a dime a dozen nowadays.
We buy them depending on the models. If they're in perfect condition with all the cords.
Yes.
The old fat models are like $15.
Yeah.
Up to $55 depending on the hard drive.
Yeah.
It's
just kind of like it's like if you wanted to trade in your PS3 and get money for it, you should have done that 3 years ago.
Yep.
Like now there's so many used PS3s, they're not worth very much anymore.
They're not. And this lady took all their stuff back and she's like, well, my son thinks that he can get more through ways, and I don't even want to know what ways those are. But I'm
selling them on
Craigslist,
probably maybe, but that's the reason why
said,
trade-ins work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like we take all the hassle, we just take it. We'll give you money for it. You don't have to. That being
said, she said that she'd hopefully be able to come back by the time the buy 2 get 1 free sale was over to get 3 PlayStation 4s. She did not. I think she's been in the store since, but I can't believe you don't offer that much. I'm like, this stuff is disgusting.
Uh-huh.
Disgusting.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, if I had to choose, I wouldn't take any of this.
Uh-huh.
Any of it. People.
Yeah, I know.
I'm glad I don't have a job where I work with people anymore.
I'm reminded
I couldn't handle it.
Of the classic movie Men in Black.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just tell people this stuff? People are smart. No, a person is smart. People are dumb, savage animals.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
That's not the exact quote, but it's...
I've got an incredible
I'm
segue.
reminded of a quote from Mallrats. The customer is always right. No, the customer is not always right. The customer is always an asshole.
Yes.
That's right. Let's see here.
Except for the customers at my place of business. We love you guys.
Let's see here. I've got a quote to segue into something that I wanted to talk passionately about. Let's see here. This is a great segue. Oh, so you're talking about, other people always seem to be really stupid. but this is an Oscar Wilde quote, of course. Most people are other people. That's a good quote. Most people are other people. I want to talk about the movie Other People, which I saw.
That
good
works.
Job. Good job with that.
Yeah, Other People.
Hold on.
No, okay. So Other People is a movie by Segue of the Year 2017.
Oh, coming
Colin.
out of the gate strong.
That's the best one so far this year.
Yeah.
So Other People is a movie, came out in 2016. It's directed by Chris Kelly, who is, I think, maybe currently co-head writer of SNL. Anyway, it's an incredible movie. It's got a lot of good people in it. Jesse Plemons, who you may remember from Breaking Bad and Friday Night Lights, the main character. Molly Shannon, Bradley Whitford, Zach Woods. A lot of fun comedy people in this movie. Let's talk about this. Have you heard about this movie? It's on Netflix now, which is why I bring it up.
Nope.
I've only kind of heard of it. But...
So it kind of was big at Sundance. It opened Sundance, won a bunch of awards at Sundance. Incredible. So so they theatrically released it for a fall campaign, so it could possibly be making Oscars, which I think it deserves. But I don't know if it will because it's such a small indie movie. Like, I don't know. Because if you've learned anything about hearing more about the Oscars, it is you get Oscars because you have a studio behind you selling people on voting for a movie, basically. So basically send copies to houses. They'll buy billboards. Exactly. So I don't know if that's going to happen with this because this is quite a small production. It is a movie that's biographical about Chris Kelly and his life, and the plot is this is the movie built for John right now. So the plot is that David, a 29-year-old gay man who also is a comedy writer in New York, has to move home to Sacramento to take care of his mother, Joanne, who's in the advanced stages of leiomyosarcoma, the cancer, which I think leiomyosarcoma is blood cancer? Smooth muscle connective tissue cancer. Anyway, bad cancer to have. So he comes home and he moves to Sacramento, which is a smaller town than New York, and his family is a little bit conservative and mostly accepted, but his dad never really kind of got over it, and it's kind of a thing. And the movie takes place over the entire year that he's there, and you kind of see Molly Shannon, I think, could possibly deserve some sort of nomination for this because she's incredible in this. And she kind of goes through chemo and decides to quit chemo, and it kind of goes through the end, the inevitable end. And it reminds me a lot of an Alexander Payne movie, where it's kind of darkly funny, but also very kind of sad in the same way. It reminded me a lot of like About Schmidt, about a character losing his wife and then going on the road trip that they were going to have together anyway because they had it planned. But it's just such a good movie. And it's so good to see like a movie where one of the main characters is just a gay man and it's not about that. You know what I mean? That's just his life, They don't make a big point of it. There's an argument with his father over it, but that's boiling over because of what's happening to his wife and his mom, Like it's just... It's on Netflix. I recommend checking it out. You will cry because it's just so good. And the acting is so good in this. And I think Jesse Plemons, I really like him a lot. You may remember him from Breaking Bad as that weird guy that gets hired who is kind of scary and murders a kid. I don't know if that's a spoiler. But anyway, I love it. Like... It was really good, and reviews are good. It's so good. And I read it. It's basically autobiographical. Chris Kelly, the writer-director, this happened to his mom, and he's from Sacramento, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, I don't know. I just wanted to recommend it.
Michael Gross starred in a movie called Atlas Shrugged 2, The Strike.
Oh, no. Don't ruin Michael Gross for me. I just want to talk about how much I love this movie, and I hope it gets nominated for Academy Award, at least for Molly Shannon and maybe Jesse Plemons, but it won't. because that La La Land movie will win because it's
It's a movie about making movies.
Exactly, because those are the movies. It's either Holocaust or a movie about making movies.
So hard.
Oh man, isn't he so charming? I actually saw a really interesting article talking about how he's like the worst actor, and the main character from that, Ryan Gosling. Because he plays basically the same character in every movie, and the fact that he doesn't like have a lot of emotion in his face, people think that he's like, oh, he's mysterious and deep, when it's just like, no, he just doesn't act very much.
He's really just not a good.
He just doesn't have a lot of emotion.
How do you think he'll do in the Blade Runner movie?
I don't agree with that article. I'm sure he's a great actor. I've seen him in a lot of stuff.
Well, that should be a role that doesn't require very much emotion.
No, I like the movie Drive in some ways, and I hate it in a lot of others. And I spoke about the article I read actually talked about his character from that movie. If you haven't seen Drive, it's worth seeing just for the way it's put together. The music and the direction is all real cool. But his character is basically like an autistic serial killer. Like, he doesn't talk to anyone. He stalks this lady who has a boyfriend and then like murders a bunch of people. It's like, what is this? How is this the good guy? He never talks and he just murders people like gruesomely. Yeah, anyway, that movie's weird, and I'm sure La La Land will win every award because it's a movie with remember when the Academy Award went to The Artist for Best Picture? That no one has seen since because it's not a very good movie, but it was a throwback to the silent film era, so it was delightful.
The people that vote on the Academy Awards, they love stuff that's about them.
Well, people voted for Trump, so other people are real
dumb.
dumb.
It's a very specific group of people that vote on the Academy Awards, and they're all part of a very specific Hollywood club, and they love when movies talk about them.
Oh, I know. It's really weird. Or when movies talk about an issue, like the movie Milk, which was about a gay character, and that's a really good movie. But also,
yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Also, maybe there were better movies that year, but because it was about a tragedy.
So I haven't seen Milk. Is that Dustin Hoffman?
No, that's Sean Penn.
Sean Penn. That's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're forgiven for making that mistake because it's a mistake I've made for decades.
All right, here we go. Sorry, go.
I was gonna say they're both very good character actors. So
yeah,
this blows my mind. The Artist won Best Picture over The Descendants, which is a fucking incredibly good movie, and it's definitely the best picture from that movie. Not to mention I'm an Alexander Payne fanboy, but that's one of my favorite movies of the last 5 years. But it beat that out. It beat out The Help, which is all right. It's a pretty good movie. Midnight in Paris, which is a very great Woody Allen movie. Tree of Life. I mean, it beat out a lot of really good movies. Terrence Malick movie. I mean, come on. The Artist. No one will remember this. Anyway.
Well, and a couple of years ago, Birdman, it was a very interesting movie and it was good, but it won because it was about capital A actors and the craft and the sacrifice.
It won because it was we make real movies, not your superhero movies, and it's okay. Yeah. I like that director, especially The Revenant, which definitely maybe didn't.
I haven't seen that yet. Did that live up to the hype?
I don't know about that. It was a great movie.
Okay.
Oh, Golden Globe Awards. I don't give a fuck about that.
Going back to Academy Award being, bullshit to begin with.
Yeah.
That one year that Lord of the Rings: Return of the King won everything. Who won Best Picture that year?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I don't think they did. They won everything else.
Let's
Maybe
see
except
here.
for Best Actor, Best Actress, but
What
And
movie
that's another thing. Like Return of the King won so many awards because none of the Lord of the Rings movies had won anything up until then.
Yeah.
And the Academy always has this kind of like award debt. Well, they'll be like, "Oh, I'll give you this award for this movie because we snubbed you on this other movie," and it's never about the current year. It's always like making up for some past thing.
No, Lord of the Rings won Best Picture for the last movie. It was making up for all the years.
okay.
Let's see here. No, okay, so Birdman beat out... Actually, it wasn't a strong year. Whiplash was really good.
I need to see that still.
Imitation Game is really good. Theory of Everything is really good. Budapest is really good. Boyhood.
Really good
I mean, Birdman was good too. I don't think there's like a all-time classic here, though, that it beat out, but still. Like, I think Boyhood deserved probably a nod there just for the sheer...
Just for like the
scale
ridiculousness of their like filming for 12 years.
Although Wes Anderson got nominated a bunch for Grand Budapest Hotel, which is definitely the best Wes Anderson movie of late. That movie is so good, Grand Budapest. I own that one on Blu-ray. Oh, what a fun movie. My favorite... What's your favorite Wes Anderson movie, Matt? I got to imagine you're a fan, just from the way that you are.
Just from the way that I choose to be.
Yeah.
Oh God, what would it be?
Fantastic Mr. Fox?
I do love that.
That
But
is a
that's
fun
kind of
movie.
Like I treat that as its own separate thing. I don't
Yeah.
include. I would probably say either probably Grand Budapest, but
It's
The
such a
Royal
good
Tenenbaums is a very close second.
Yeah, it's so tough because that one's so old, compared to now. Yeah, I love Grand. My favorite is probably what's the name? Moonrise Kingdom.
Oh yeah,
Straight up, I can't get over that movie. It's like I just want to watch that. Like if you could be the San Junipero thing where I'm just living in the world of that movie.
Yeah.
At like a Boy Scout camp in like the Cape Cod area on an island, just living in this gorgeous woods. Like that's my life.
Sad Bruce Willis in that
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, I know, right?
It's just like a character that I've never seen him play before.
It's such a good movie. I love it. Anyway, so that's what I'm hoping for Oscars. I don't think other people will get nominated, but Chris Kelly, he's Alexander Payne. He's going to steal your lunch. He's come for you because that movie's great.
All right, let's do some Oscars predictions.
Oh no. Okay, fine.
Picture. Batman versus Superman.
I saw that. I watched it on HBO
Paid
Go.
money to see that.
Nope, I had it on HBO Go. I saw it for free. I didn't have to pay extra to see that movie. It was already included. I don't know.
Should I watch that movie? Is it worth the time if I can see it for free?
Yes. Yes.
I heard Affleck's a good Batman.
Yeah.
Yes. Wonder
I think
Woman
I
is a
think his
treat.
standalone movie is going to be good. I think the Wonder Woman movie is going to be badass. I think Zack Snyder just needs to stay away from that stuff.
It's great. It's got some really cool parts. I liked a lot of it. It has a lot of
Did you
problems.
like that Mark Zuckerberg was the villain?
I liked that take on Lex Luthor, and I liked how weird it was. I liked how different it was. It was a fun choice because of how different it was. I want to mention this.
It just seemed like sort of Joker light.
I want to mention this. Fences. I saw Fences as well. It's an August Wilson play made into a Denzel Washington movie. I thought it was really good. The acting was good. That shouldn't get nominated for anything. It's a fucking play that got put into a movie. Like, come on. That's not a movie.
Best adapted screenplay?
Maybe. Arrival. There's some shots there. That was a good movie. I don't know if it was as good as I thought it was going to be, but it was really good. That Hidden Figures movie looks pretty good. I think that it should not get an Academy Award because it's doing the bullshit cheat thing where it's coming out wide in January but is getting a limited release in December, so it could be like in this nomination.
Does it have to? So does it have to release in this last calendar year for it to happen?
Correct.
Okay.
Hell or High Water, I heard, was really good. That's Jeff Bridges, Texas Deputy. Jeff Bridges, Andrew Garfield, stealing from banks, kind of Western. Hacksaw Ridge, I heard, was really good. Lance said he loved it. That's a really cool story if you want to look up what Hacksaw Ridge is about. It was about, it's sort of religious because the main character is very religious. The idea is that it's a true story of a medic in World War II who didn't want to fight or shoot a gun, but he kind of saved all these lives. I think he got a Medal of Honor. So it's actually a really cool story.
He was a pacifist soldier medic.
Yes, exactly. It's actually a really cool story. So I think that's it. Like, it's going to be La La Land. So it might not be, though, honestly, because I think the internet has gotten to the Oscars at this point where people are like, oh, everyone's saying we should pick that. I'm not going to pick that now. You know what I mean? Like, it totally could happen. We'll see.
I'm trying to think of the movies that I saw.
I'm calling my shot, though. Other people, for me,
a lot.
That's John's best picture.
Okay.
Sorry, that's it. You can go now. I just want to say that's my best picture.
I'm just thinking the movies that I seek out now are not like the Oscar bait movies. They're like the fun escapism. So I'm like, I saw Magnificent Seven and it was a lot of fun. And also kind of the same movie as Rogue One. Yeah. If you think about it.
Yeah. It's not a strong year for prestige movies. But we'll see. I think my best picture, I'm going to have to go with La La Land because it's a fucking musical. So of course it's going to win. Because they're like, oh, the big musical's back, guys. Like, no, people are just in love with Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. That's what's back. Put them in a movie dancing with each other and people are going to love it. I'm sure it's fun, but come on. No one will care about that movie 10 years from now. It's just like how The English Patient beat, was it Pulp Fiction? English Patient beat Fargo. And nobody fucking remembers English Patient. Everybody remembers Fargo.
Saving Private Ryan got beat by Shakespeare in Love, I think.
Yes, very possible. Yes. Like, there's so many times where people are like, oh, we just got to give it to them. And it's like, no, you don't, actually. Yes, this one, this was the year that English Patient beat out Fargo. Yeah, the rest of the selection here wasn't incredible, but yeah. 1996, Fargo was the best movie that came out. No one will watch The English Patient, which ran away with the awards. Of course. Anyway. All right. We got to move on because we're moving along here.
We definitely are.
We're moving along. All right. So we talked about your retail, when people wouldn't leave your store. Matt, what about you? I want you to talk about stuff. I already ranted.
Let's talk about stuff. I played a thing.
Okay.
I played a couple VR things.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Brookhaven experiment first.
I watched a video of you playing Kittypocalypse.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that second.
Okay.
You're one of the 3 people that watched that video.
He's got a video up? I didn't see it.
It's on Extra Matt, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not subscribed to Extra Matt yet.
This sweet $12 wireless lav mic that sounds kind of terrible, but for like a $12 wireless mic, it's fine for.
I need to get wired.
Videos.
I need to get wired lav mics for doing streaming and stuff. Because if Lauren and I are going to do something together, I can't just use one condenser mic. It'll sound bad.
I think you'd have better luck with 2 condensers than, or like 2 dynamics even than like a couple of lavs. Because I don't know, lavs pick up a ton of room noise. But
how about this?
I'm getting off the topic.
Sorry. How about this? Lavs can be incredible if you buy the really, really expensive ones.
Yeah,
like the ones that are built for
bare
studios.
minimum for a wireless lav is gonna be like $150 for the cheap shit.
I don't want a wireless one.
So like I got mine for $12, but
Yeah.
um,
For those of you who don't know,
so
a
I played-
lavalier mic is the over-the-ear mic, right? That connects.
no,
or is
that's
that
the one that clips
lapel
on your
pin?
collar.
That's the
Lapel
collar pin
one, yeah.
one. The lapel mic, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Anyway, Matt, you hooked up a mic and did what?
Well, the cats have decided to start playing with their new Christmas squeaky toy, so
Oh,
that's going to
shit.
be coming through.
I can hear
it.
that.
But
Yep.
yeah, so I played Brookhaven Experiment, which is a. Hold on 1 second. This is going away now.
We got some podcast guests.
No more fun. You slept all day and you woke up for this moment.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, it's a wave shooter, kind of a zombie survival wave shooter thing. And it is kind of terrifying because you have these like 9-foot tall zombies coming at you, and they look like 9-foot tall zombies coming at you.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like strange how quickly you get used to that, and
Yeah.
you just accept like this is my world now. I have accepted that is just something that I'll accept.
I think that's a problem with like VR and a lot of things, like especially with VR video, is a lot of times it's like I'm being surrounded by 7-foot tall giants because the POV always seems like too small. You know, like I don't know what that is. I've noticed it.
Yeah. Well, in this it was to scale, so it's like these are supposed to be these monstrous giants.
Okay.
But yeah, there's not really much to say about that one because it's just kind of your standard wave shooter, but with a zombie theme. And
I think I've seen video
There's
of
little
that
cool
one.
things like you have flash grenades and you throw them, and if you don't turn your head away from the grenade before it goes off, you'll be blinded for a few seconds.
Okay.
So that kind of stuff's really cool. Like I accidentally flash grenade blinded myself, and then like you can hear what's going on, but you just see this white screen, so you're like trying to not get murdered by zombies while you're blind. But Kitty Apocalypse is kind of a tower defense game
Yeah.
in virtual reality. And the coolest thing about this is something that it's one of these things that will only make sense in a VR game,
Yeah.
but like the game space is this kind of like small floating island that starts out sort of like 2 or 3 feet wide in front of you, floating at like waist level.
Yeah.
And you grab it with your move controller, and as you drag it towards you, it's not just getting closer, it's also like becoming something that you're standing on. So like it's this weird like space morphing stuff going on. So like you'd think that it would just be like it would stay the same size and you would like drag it closer to your face to be able to see closer. But
Yeah.
no, the as you drag it towards you, it like is what you're standing on. And that's
Okay.
kind of like the weird acid trippy stuff that only happens in VR that is just it makes me excited for all of the stuff that we haven't thought of to do yet.
That is kind of cool. That I think that's kind of like what makes VR exciting because it's the experiences that you can't have anywhere else. Like I know I haven't gotten to play it, but I think maybe Matt, the next time I come over to try out VR, have you played the I forget what it's called, the like Google Earth VR?
Yes,
Is that free? I heard that is an experience, and I've seen people play it, but like
It literally made me cry.
Yeah.
Like just going to I went on all of my old vacations and I was like, "Oh, I remember being here. I remember who I was at that time in my life and like what I was doing." And then, like yeah, that was a something I was not prepared for when I was like, "Oh, I'll
Yeah.
just play with this new Google thing."
I remember when I went to so Lauren and I went to Mackinac Island, and I proposed, of course, there, and we're getting married now and whatnot. It was just a really kind of a romantic trip, and I have a lot of great memories from there. But like when I went to Google Earth and like did the street view and like was able to like just go down the streets that we spent like, you know, our days bicycling on and going to all the shops, and just like being able to feel like you're there was like incredible. And like this is like another level. Like you can just like God mode over the world.
Yeah,
basically.
you just the laws of physics don't apply. You can just like make your own. Like so I'm learning the game stuff, like making games and everything. And the first time I went into something that I made, where I'd written all the code, I drew all the art assets in like Adobe programs, and like literally this is something like it's a world that I created from nothing. And that's just like the weirdest thing to try and wrap your head around.
That sounds awesome, though.
And yeah, so much fun. I'm addicted. I'm gonna keep. I think this stumbling into the Vive and deciding to try and learn how to develop games for it is probably gonna be one of those things that I look back on and realize it was a turning point in my life, because like I'm super addicted to it now.
Well, I think that's great, because there's just that's like as much as like kind of VR didn't take off, you know, this year. I feel like it probably had enough of an impact where it's like, okay, this is like a real thing now we can develop for that provides experiences that are very different.
Yeah. Well, and it's like you can't tell someone about it without sounding like you're describing a dream or an acid trip or something. They have to try it for themselves.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. And then when you do try it for yourself, you're like, I get it. Like this is mind blowing how this. I don't know. It just works, you know. Like.
So Matt, in the next month, I kind of want to buy you Audio Shield because I want to see what your reaction to that is.
Oh, really? I've been kind of following that one for a while. It looks so. Audio Shield is kind of Guitar Hero-esque.
Yes.
I've mentioned this on a previous podcast, but
oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah, it's that open hallway to like, I guess, space, and then basically just blocking meteors coming at you, but it's all based on your music. So you actually import your tracks,
you upload
and then
your own stuff. Yeah.
It's from the people who it's from the people who made Audio Surf.
That makes me want to play Audio Surf again, because that game was so cool.
I still have it because I bought that one bundle a while back.
Yeah, I have it on Steam as well. Like that was I've heard a lot of praise for that game.
It's the one reason I want the Vive over any other VR. And the thing is, I don't have the computing power to even use it.
I really wish I had the money to get a Vive.
Every once in a while on the Vive subreddits, there's someone who's like talking about their exercise weight loss Vive plan.
Oh, I know.
And it always involves Audio Shield. It usually involves a couple of the archery games.
Well, there's that bicycling app too, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like you can get those little wrist weights and ankle weights and stuff.
Okay.
And it's a huge workout if you have any of those.
That's some Dragon Ball Z shit. Like,
yeah, I was about to say, let's do some weighted clothing.
Training with weights on, you know.
Turn on the gravity to 10,000 times.
A quiver and archery game with wrist weights to try and like simulate the bow. Even without the weights, just holding my arm out in bow position for over an hour like was exhausting. But yeah, you really work up a sweat on that stuff and
work a sweat up. Yeah. I saw you playing that. That game does seem pretty cool.
They're gonna get super buff and exercisey, and we're gonna take over the world.
I really wish, having had a somewhat of a windfall recently cash wise, I wish I could spend it on something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I got a wedding, I got to buy a house. You know,
I think you wouldn't want to buy right now anyway, because I kind of suspect there's going to be like
Yeah.
slim version coming out this summer or something. Not like an actual upgrade, but just kind of an iteration.
Iteration with, easier to manufacture parts and whatnot.
Yeah,
I'm
because
waiting
there's
for
always
version 2, you know?
there's already like the cords have improved and the head straps have improved, and so people that are buying now are getting slightly improved product compared to what I have. But I don't think there's going to be hardware upgrade like a big one until 2018 at the earliest.
Yeah, maybe that, I'll be getting married then, so maybe I'll be able to spend the extra cash. I really do want one. Like, I gotta say, playing it at your place is just, it's definitely a real thing. Like, I think it didn't take off because it's just too expensive. You know what I mean? Like, Matt, you were able to afford it,
you
but
need like a crazy computer.
Yeah, like you already had the computer, you already had this crazy, you're just like, you're the perfect example of like I'm trying to just say what the best word for it is, but like the enthusiast, you're a VR guy. Like that's what you want. It makes sense for you. I don't know if I'm the VR guy. I love games though. And there's some stuff, like even stuff like Job Simulator that came out is just really, just really is a unique experience. You can't get anywhere else, and it's fun. And you watch me play that, just dicking around with that robot, being a jerk. Like that's me in real life, and I get to live it out in a fantasy world. Like, I love that stuff.
And everything is super. If it's designed well, it's super intuitive, and you just interact with stuff like you're interacting with real objects, and you don't really need the tutorial moment because you just kind of know how to do everything most of the time.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing about that. I remember when we were playing it, I was playing Job Simulator, and I put my arm out to like steady myself on a shelf in the game when I like kneeled down to grab something and I dropped on the floor, and I was like, oh, that's air. And I was like, oh boy.
I've seen so many videos of people falling over from stuff like that, and I realized that that's going to be like the theater crowd running away from the train film. Like in 100 years or so, they're going to be like, can you believe these idiots didn't realize that the counter wasn't actually there?
Yeah, I know. I'm that idiot. No, but it's totally true. That's going to be the future.
Right now, VR is very kind of an isolating experience, so there needs to be more like online multiplayer and more social stuff. And I think we're getting there.
Do you know if the game Rec Room is free, Matt?
It is free.
You should play Rec Room because I've heard.
I have it. Yeah,
I've heard nothing but incredible things about like how fun an experience that is. Like I think you play paintball in that, and
there's paintball. There's a weird variation of soccer. I
heard there's just a really weird room that you like hang out with other people.
Yeah,
and just people are like, it's neat. You hang out in this little room and chat and do weird VR stuff, and that's I don't know. I'm really looking forward to the Gen 2 stuff, when I can jump in.
There needs to be more stuff like that. More.
Yeah.
Just more. Just more.
So, all right. Since we're already on this topic, I want you to talk about the list you have here.
Yeah, definitely.
So you've already kind of said more headsets, less exclusivity deals.
Well, and I want more companies to get involved in the headset game because Steam VR is an open source platform. So, theoretically, anyone can develop for it. And I would love to see a lot more competition there just to get the performance up and the prices down. But I really want to live in a post-exclusivity world where everything just kind of works with everything else and you buy whatever hardware is the best without having to think about which games are available for what thing and blah, blah, blah.
That's going to be kind of hard. Did you read that article that I think one of the developers had kind of rebutting that was like, we wouldn't make these games if we didn't get these exclusivity deals because there just aren't enough headsets out there.
That's Arizona Sunshine?
Yeah.
Probably. Where they were... That was an exceptionally weird... They had content that was only available if you had a Core i7 processor. Like,
Okay.
and it wasn't for technical reasons. It was just some random exclusivity deal that they had, and
Yeah.
there was a big stink about it, and they reversed it quickly. But like, I can see that, but as a consumer, like, if I'm building in something like Unity that's like a cross-platform engine, I would like just export for Vives, export for Oculus, export for PSVR, and it just works.
That's totally true though. Fragmenting only hurts the market because it's such a small market right now. That like asking,
And I feel like it's the same thing with streaming services. Like if your streaming service's sales pitch is your library, then you're doing it wrong. Like everyone should just have all of the things, and whoever has the best tech wins.
I mean, to be fair to Netflix, who's kind of doing that, their exclusive stuff is some of the best stuff. Like Black Mirror, we talked about.
They make it so that, like,
that's true. It's like HBO at that point. We have our own awesome stuff. Like you want to buy it just for that, and hey, we got some stream movies too. You know, they got Civil War on there now. You could rent that, you know, like, or get that for your subscription fee. So they have good stuff. But yeah, it kind of sucks having to be subscribed to Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon, which I have all three because I'm a fucking person who doesn't want to have money, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I get Amazon because I use Amazon Prime, so that's worth it for me for that. But like Hulu, I even have cable when I have Hulu, just because I don't know. Sometimes my DVR doesn't catch the stuff I want, and it's nice being able to just I don't know
Watch it
without commercials. Because Hulu Plus, there's no commercials, so yeah.
Item number 2 on my VR 2017 wish list is
let's hear it.
AAA content, which is coming. And
yeah, we ain't got crap even on the console side.
And I was
really.
actually thinking about this. I may have had a small epiphany. Like, at least in Vive world, everything's either developed in Unity or the Unreal Engine right now. Like 99% of the stuff is there. So all of these studios that have their own in-house engines, like, it probably just wasn't worth it for them to adapt it to VR yet. Like, that all takes time. And if you're managing all these other projects whereas like Unity, all they do is manage the engine and add new functionality to the engine. So it's probably a lot. But I know Bethesda's doing big stuff this year, and I'm assuming that just everyone else is going to follow along.
Well, they had announced that Fallout VR thing, right? Fallout 4?
Yeah.
Is that
and Doom?
Doom.
Yeah.
I need to finish playing Doom. I bought that during the holiday sale here on Steam. I need to get back on
I should have bought. The holiday sale's over now, isn't it?
Oh no, you have till Monday.
Okay.
So it's like the New
I have
Year's,
to
I
buy
believe.
that because
It's 20 right now, and boy, is it fun!
Really good deal for that game. Yeah, I played that first level that was available on the demo.
Yeah, the
and
demo.
It was amazing.
Did you enjoy the part at the end where the shotgun clicked to the music when he? Oh God, that was a good movie, or that not a movie even. That was a good moment in a great game. Yeah, I would play more games, but you know I'm addicted to Minecraft. It's my new World of Warcraft crack addiction. Fuck.
I still have a second prepaid month that I haven't used.
Of World of Warcraft from like when?
From when Legion came out. Because I had one prepaid and then I had another prepaid. I only used one code.
Got it. And you played Legion?
A little bit, not too much, because I started from base content again, and I never even got to Legion content.
I wish that I would stop subscribing to that game, because I'm paying for it right now, and I haven't played it in like 3 months. That's $45. God damn it! Why do I keep resubscribing? What is wrong with me?
You think you'll go back?
I do go back.
Yeah.
And
Think about, like, what other game would you pay $15 a month for in this current world?
Well,
I don't know.
to get me into Final
Minecraft?
Fantasy 14.
Ooh. I played that month-long free demo with Adam on Final Fantasy 14. That game's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got a buddy from northern Wisconsin who's really big into it, so I'm and there's a second expansion coming out next year.
I was about to say,
or this year. Sorry, this year.
I could see myself trying that one out because I actually kind of like that game. No, I don't need to pay a subscription fee for a game. You know what? There's enough good games out there. You know, I'm good. Okay, Matt, you said your 2017 predictions, but what are your like pie in the sky predictions for VR? Because I'm liking some of these.
I just want to mention one 2017. The last thing that definitely, absolutely has to happen this year is wireless, because that cord is a fucking death trap, and it is. There's third-party stuff coming out, so hopefully it lives up to the expectations. Okay, high pie in the high sky. Something? What?
Getting high on pie.
Hell.
Finest weed in the first valley.
Okay,
It took you. You're losing your touch.
Sorry.
It took you too long for that.
So longer term, definitely lighter, more powerful headsets. They've got to get higher resolution because the screen door effect is getting kind of old. Like
It's not too bad, but I think I've only played the game sparingly.
Yeah, when you get used to it and kind of like the magic of VR wears off a little bit more, you start to notice all of the strings and flaws.
Mm-hmm.
But full body tracking. So this is something that I think is only happening in kind of like a hackerspace thing, where people are taking Xbox Connects and
I was
rigging
actually
that into an HTC Vive system.
When I read that, I was like, Connect.
Yeah, like,
Connect does this. Like, it's totally
it takes
possible.
the tracking points from your headset and then estimates the rest from the Connect.
Yeah,
And like that needs to be built into the lighthouses, because like, man, I want to kick stuff, I want to step on stuff. When I'm playing a shooter game, I want it to know where my actual body is, not just where my head and hands are.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. That is definitely like possible, you know, and because there were times because Lauren came over and played a little bit of VR, and there were points where you're just like, oh, I like try and kick something, and it's like, oh yeah, nothing's connected. Like,
yeah,
oh yeah,
and you could do that with like ankle trackers or waist trackers or anything like that, but
yeah,
there's a point where you have to put on so much stuff to play that it just won't be worth it anymore. And I think it's much better to have.
Yeah, be wearing your fucking nerd suit.
Yeah,
your VR suit.
You have your precision trackers for your head and your hands, but then everything else, it's like good enough is good enough. So you can just kind of estimate and then scan the person and then work out a skeleton and then lay out the map the character figure onto that skeleton.
Yeah, I mean that VR stuff and that Connect stuff is pretty far along.
Yeah,
like in terms of capability. So I can only see that being kind of the next logical step, because get my full body in there. And then what's next then? The creepy like running thing where you can like run on like a treadmill.
The Omni treadmill.
The Omni treadmill.
I don't know if that's. I think that's gonna not ever be a thing.
Yeah, I've heard
because
people that
it's
use
really
it.
big and expensive.
Yeah, I've heard people like it.
And
just
also,
it doesn't feel like walking. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, it gets it into a weird, uncanny valley of physics where if you estimate it close enough but not quite close enough, then it almost makes you more motion sick than if you're just teleporting around.
So so for people who have never heard of the Omni treadmill, look it up. But it's basically like a skate pad, right? Like where you can skid your feet around and
it's like you're on a ball.
Yeah.
Or like sometimes it's like a concave kind of disc thing.
Yeah.
And you basically can walk in any direction.
And basically you step and your foot slides to the middle. It feels like if you get you get on an elliptical, and it kind of feels like walking, but it's just different enough to not feel right. I feel like that's what it would be like. Like just not enough. Like close,
we won't
but
have real walking until we get like straight up neural interfaces where we're just kind of paralyzed.
That's what I want.
But we're not.
Get me in bed, throw on the VR porn, and I will never leave.
You don't need an $800 device to do that.
That's true. You can do it with my Gear VR, but it's not the same. I need
there's all this stuff in the news now about how we're in our bubbles and like how that's a bad thing. No, I think we should embrace that. I think we should just dive deeper into our bubbles to the extent that we can't interact with or hurt each other in any way, and we'll just all live our little isolated lives in our pods, and that solves pretty much everything. Right, guys?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Matt, can I share you 2 non-gaming related stories that I thought are incredible? All right, check this shit out. This is a hockey story. I'm not way into hockey, but this is a really cool story, right?
A really cool hockey story.
Oh, in 2006, an 11-year-old boy sent a letter to his favorite hockey player, Alexander Ovechkin. Played for the Capitals, the Washington Capitals at that point. The letter contained a card.
The ones that always lose to the Globetrotters, right?
Yes. The letter had a hockey card with a self-addressed stamped envelope, a note to Ovechkin, and, hey, sign my card, send it back. Check this out. The cards or the letter with the card said, if you don't sign this and send it back to me, when I make it to the NHL, I'm going to give you a big body check. Well, can you guess what happened? Alexander Ovechkin never sent it back. The boy, who sent the letter, now is in the NHL. Miles Wood, who plays for New Jersey Devils. They traveled to Washington last night. Is that the only reason you're reading this is no, he didn't check Alexander Ovechkin. But they won the game, and afterwards, of course, he came over, told the story, and he said he was sorry, and he got the card signed. So I think it's incredible, though. He's just literally if you don't sign this, and then 10 years later, he's 21, and he can meet his hero at the time and be like, I could fucking own you, but I'm not going to, obviously, because that would, I love it. That's a fun story. The other story I have is the best story that I've read in a while, and this blows my mind, and it is terrifying. Have you heard of Game 2, Winter?
No.
No.
All right. So reality TV has been around for a while. 30 years probably. We've been with reality television in some form or another. Of course, when was Survivor? 99? So it's been 16, 17 years of big time reality TV.
Yes.
Lots of
mainstream reality.
People doing stupid shit for semi-fame and sometimes prizes. You're talking about Fear Factor, drinking pig vomit for prizes, awful stuff. Or Naked and Afraid. Just, people getting naked and people gawking at it. Getting malaria, whatever. Here we go. Yet, despite the fascination of the Hunger Games and and this person says the superior antecedent Battle Royale. Watch Battle Royale again, article writer. That movie's fun, but it is not a good movie. Or book. I read both. Well, Hunger Games isn't perfect either, but Battle Royale, people are oh, Hunger Games is a ripoff of Battle Royale, and it's better. I'm it is not better. It is a pulp Japanese book. Just because it's Japanese and you read it doesn't make it better. It's good, though. You should watch Battle Royale. It's ridiculous. But anyway, Russia has created a television show called Game 2 Winter, reality show for survival in the Siberian taiga, which is the tundra of the Siberia. Here's what they say, of course, in the promotional materials. The boundary is being pushed here. Game 2 Winter is currently casting for a nearly year-long show meant to be broadcast around the world. Premise is that contestants must survive in Siberia from July until April, so weathering the entire winter. Explicit from the advertisements in the show, which is financed by some fucking Russian oligarch billionaire, is that everything is allowed. And this is what The Guardian said. Each contestant gives consent that they could be maimed, even killed. 2,000 cameras, over 900 hectares, and 30 lives. Everything is allowed. Fighting, alcohol, murder, rape, smoking, anything. I like they had to put smoking in there. Like, fuck, fighting, murder, and rape. Smoking. You can smoke on camera. Contestants will sign a waiver acknowledging they might be raped or killed. But the rules also state that police are free to arrest anyone who commits a crime on the show. So, okay, that's fair enough. So that kind of covers it. Like, all right, you can murder someone on this reality show, but you're going to go to jail for it because it's going to be on camera. So you must understand that the police are there to take you away, the rules state. We are on the territory of Russia, and we obey the laws of the Russian Federation. Clarification, any criminal act committed on the show can be prosecuted by authorities, whatever. But they're not going to do anything to stop it, is what they're saying. Like, if that happens, it happens. And, there's a lot of sad things that have happened to reality show stories. There's like I forget what contestant on The Bachelor died before the show aired, right? But they were still on the show, and it was kind of like a thing. I don't know. On the other hand, I mean, Russia... Okay, check this out. $16 million for the winner. Huh? Or yeah. No, I'm sorry. $16 million put up for the show by this billionaire. The winner will get $1.6 million as a prize, as the survivor. Are you watching this show, is my question.
I don't know.
No.
It now sounds boring.
The fact that they said that, like, you're gonna follow the Russian laws, that puts a damper on it. Fair enough.
Policia.
Or whatever the version of police is. Yeah. So
what?
That was my Russian. I was speaking Russian.
Oh, yeah, I heard it.
Okay.
No, I got it.
Because it sounded like Duel of the Fates for a second for me.
That's it. You got it. Duel of the Fates. I don't know. I think that's crazy. I mean, like, because this sounds like basically like Naked and Afraid, but like in the fucking Siberian winter. And, if you die, you die. We'll film it.
Yeah.
Fucking Russia, man. Sometimes I love Russia. The balls on those people. Oh, shit.
Do you think... All right. I know we're on a podcast, so no one's going to ever know this. Do you think Trump is funding this?
Trump is funding this. No. But, he's got a lot of business dealings with people in Russia. Well, maybe... We live in a reality show where the Russian billionaires funded Trump's presidential candidacy. Da 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 da. That's the world we live in. Okay, does anyone else have anything else before we're gonna end? Because
I'm dumbly addicted to the Wheel of Fortune app.
Okay, you got to tell me about this, and we'll end after this. Okay, what?
Hold on, I have a soundtrack for this. It's gonna seem a little bit out of place because it's delayed.
You're not smoking weed every day?
No. Let's just say Wheel of Fortune soundtrack, go.
There we go.
I've said this a million times, and I don't want to sound like a traitor, but the Russian national anthem is fucking epic.
Yes, it is.
They put together a good national anthem. I feel like I could die in a submarine to this.
And what did we get? We got freaking emo poems from some guy watching a battle that he's not even taking part in.
I couldn't make the battle. 1812, not even the revolution.
Look, the flag's got holes in it, but it's still flying.
I'm going to sit here writing a song instead of murdering British people.
Ooh. And we'll set this poem to some British music and just swipe that in.
That's true.
I thought that's all the other.
It's like a British drinking song.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
God Save the Queen is pretty lame too, though. You got to give him that. You could do better than God Save the Queen. I say.
God Save the Queen is the same music as America the Beautiful, right?
Yeah, it's close.
Or is it My Country 'Tis of Thee?
They all sound kind of similar, huh?
Yeah.
There's one that's exactly the same.
There's one that's exactly the same as God Save the Queen.
I don't know what God Save the Queen's melody goes.
God Save the Queen. That's it.
Yeah.
God save the Queen.
She is our queen.
That's Oh Canada. This is still a better one.
Oh, I love Oh Canada.
Oh Canada, our home and native land.
We drink maple syrup.
We stand on guard for thee.
But
right.
So what is it about the Wheel of Fortune app, though, to finish off?
Well, all right. So Wheel of Fortune was one of my favorite game shows growing up, besides maybe Press Your Luck or Price is Right.
Fair enough.
But one of the things I noticed, especially when I turned like 14 years old, is
how hot Vanna White is.
Well, that too. But
that's what I noticed. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I will. I mean, I don't care. I would gladly. I would gladly.
You don't have a thing. I don't have a specific thing for Vanna White, but
no, it's fine.
Pat Sajak's a lucky man.
But there's no ease in this puzzle. But anyway,
there's an E in my penis.
So by the time I basically turned a teenager, I'm like, this game got too easy.
Yeah.
So I started to hate it. I'm like, you guys suck on the show. I can answer half these puzzles with 2 letters.
Yeah.
So I started playing the app, and the fact that I could beat half these puzzles in 2 letters, even though this app is freaking Skinner box as crap. Because
what does that mean?
Okay, so Skinner box is the idea. I forget who this was. I think he was a behavioral psychiatrist or whatnot.
B.F. Skinner, yes.
Yeah. He was the guy with the rat in the box, right?
Yes, very famous owner of a box.
Yes, he owned a box. Rat would push a button and get a thing.
Yeah, basically the idea was
the dopamine rats that starve themselves.
Yes, right? The pleasure center of the brain.
And eventually, he would start giving less and less food with the button, and the rat would keep pressing the button. Doesn't matter, just keep pressing the button. Because the button made you happy.
Yes.
And
the button
most
is love. The button is life.
Most free cell phone apps kind of still run from the Skinner box mechanics.
Yep.
Where you have to either put more time or more dollars.
Yep. Spin a loot box, get a small incremental item, move on.
I mean, it's same idea behind World of Warcraft. It's just longer play sessions to get the same level grind to get that.
Ooh, you get the loot drop. You get
that loot drop. Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm already. I've been only playing it since. When did I start? Did I start Christmas day after Christmas, maybe. So it's been only like 4 days. But I'm already like a third of the way through all the content in this game.
Okay.
Because they have a leveling up system, although I say a third of the way. But a third of the way in World of Warcraft, level 20 compared to level 60, you still have about 95% of experience points to get there.
Yeah, that's kind of like exponential, that experience curve on that game.
But still, it's just... I'm like, this game's too easy, but I can't stop playing it. It's dumb.
Yeah.
It's absolutely dumb. But if anyone wants to be Facebook friends with me, and that way I have a Facebook friend on here, I will gladly do that. Speaking of that, Matt, I gotta still add you on Mario Run, even though I haven't bought the full version yet.
You're on that.
Yeah, I am. We're not even Facebook friends yet, I don't think.
I think we are. I've seen your face on my book.
Okay, cool.
I've heard nothing but meh reviews of Mario Run.
It's okay.
I like it. I'm about running into the end of content.
Yeah.
So, but I got over a week of entertainment out of it for $9.
It's tough for $10, or whatever it is. And
I like the Toad Rallies, which is, it makes me
rallies are cool.
try to get better and better, and that's something I find quite interesting.
I'll like just own at those, and then I'll meet like a person that I just can't beat, and then all of a sudden, like my nemesis and my soul being is about trying to best them.
And then you lose like half the toads you got from the past 2 weeks just trying to beat them.
It's totally worth it because I will bring them down.
Oh, so good. But with a lot of being sick this past week and past 2 weeks, because it's been a while since our last podcast went up. Well, you had Christmas is Terrible. I loved it.
Yes. That went up. Listen to us get drunk, and John not get that drunk.
Yeah.
I should have drank
some
more.
of us get too drunk.
I don't remember why I didn't drink. I don't know what was wrong with me.
You were saying something about having to do something the next day or something?
No, actually I didn't. I didn't even have work the next day. I think what was is that I remember correctly, I had a headache that day and I wasn't feeling great, so I think I just didn't want.
Turned me down for sex too.
That's true. Sorry, Matt. It's just a headache, nothing else.
I need to pick a time and come up to Madison. It's been too long.
Oh yeah, hey, but we have plans. Extra Life next year for sure.
I know, but I should at least stop up at least one time before.
Yeah.
Because I'm now hearing not just through Facebook and other means. It's like people are like, yeah, I keep trying to put it off. Meeting with buddies and whatnot, and then they die.
Yeah,
that does happen.
2017 is not going to be any better.
No.
Everyone's still going to die.
People will die.
Everyone you love will be taken from you, and that's life. That's what you learn in other people.
As a wise man once said, asked, let me get the quote exactly.
Derek Wiseman, professional Wiseman.
So, someone was talking about, it was someone's birthday, so they're wishing them the best. The best what? But I don't know. Someone was talking about, well, it's life. Let's just see how much more we can go.
Yeah.
And someone responded saying, sounds like a challenge. I don't know if life is supposed to be a race. A race to the finish, or an endurance challenge, or maybe we're just judged on style.
Yeah.
Who said that? That was me in a text chat about 3 hours ago.
That's right.
So I don't know if we're just trying to race to the grave, if we're trying to just live as long as we can, or at least enjoy what we got while we got it.
That's right. Hold your cats close. Hold your loved ones. If you don't have loved ones, you got cats. And they might not love you as much as you love them, but...
Yeah.
But they'll learn.
Yeah. Well, they know that you feed them, so if you were to die, they would have to eat your face. And that would be not fun. Not as easy as the kibble.
And if you can, try not to have done a bunch of coke in the 70s, because that seems to be bad.
Yeah, you know what? Turns out heavy drug use catches up to you.
Yeah. I did read somewhere, someone mentioned, it's really not 2016 that's killing everyone. It's a lifetime
80s?
of drug abuse, alcohol use, and just lots of other unhealthy things.
Oh, it's called the 80s,
everyone.
when everyone did coke all the time.
Yep.
Guys.
Now it's meth.
So that's it. 2017. Check yourself. That's the official Born in the 80s slogan of the year. Check yourself. Make sure you're good. What did we not get to talk about? Way too much. We're going to have an episode next week, though. Hopefully Adam will not be ill. What do we want to call that disease?
Eating chicken.
Slackitis.
Eating chicken. There we go.
Mm.
That was good.
He's ill. He said he's ill. Hopefully he feels better.
We have no evidence that he's not ill.
That's true. I'm just going off of my my recollections of his habits. So, Adam, check yourself. It's 2017.
For people that want a good way to start 2017,
yep.
My kids just started rewatching the Avatar: The Last Airbender series.
Oh, that show is so good.
It is so good. I need to watch
fun.
it again.
Lauren won't watch it with me because she hates anime for some reason.
It's A, only half anime, B, amazing, C, awesome.
I know.
You better watch it.
I know. She won't watch it. She said she might watch Attack on Titan with me. I'm
No,
like, all right.
no, this first.
I don't know.
Avatar first.
Avatar's so good. I tried watching a few episodes. She couldn't get into it, man. All right, well, we got to end. The website is borninthE80s.net. Let me read some recent feedback we got.
Did we get
from Stephen Benton. Hello, I'm contacting you with an advertising proposal. We're seeking to publish one permanent article with one do follow link on your website, Born in the 80s, borninthE80s.net. The link inside the article will point to a real money online gambling website. The article in question will be original, unique, and good quality. It will be provided by us and will be relevant to the topic of your website, or have the topic of your choice. It won't necessarily be an article about online gambling. If you're open to such deals, please reply with a price for such an article under the above conditions. Besides, let us know if you own or maintain any other websites you would like to include in our deal. Maybe we can work out a bulk deal for multiple articles. Thank you in advance. Best regards, Steven. You know what that means? The SEO of our website's popping. It's showing up on
sponsored.
On scammers want to get us.
Like,
We're getting
you can always
sponsored.
tell
Hashtag
something's
Audible.
bullshit if it ends in best regards.
Yeah, I know, right? I actually send that to clients at my place of business. I say best regards.
Really?
Hey, man. It's non-specific. But anyway, yeah, the website is borninthE80s.net. We'll be back next week, same time. We got to talk about the Amazon expedition. That'll happen at some point on Twitch when we get the technology figured out. I saw Matt tweeted some more ridiculous shit to me.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I would love to see it all.
Oh, you mean natural butt enhancement pills?
That's right.
What's ridiculous about that?
My butt needs enhancement, Matt. And this will do the trick right up. Anyway, well, thanks for listening, everyone. I hope 2017 is much better than 2016. I remember when I talked with Lance on, he was like, "Oh, it was a bad year?" I was like, "Yeah, everybody died. David Bowie, Prince, for fuck's sake, now Michael Bolton, what's his name?
Bublé.
George Michael.
Michael Bolton?
Hey, he's next, man.
George Michael Bluth.
George Michael Bolton is next. But yeah, so... All right, guys. Keep it safe out there and check yourself. That'll be
Bye-bye.
it. Hey, we're live.
Hey, Matt, I got a question for you. Random question.
Yes.
If you and I were to do a podcast, just you and I, what would it be about?
Oh, God, I have no idea.
I mean, would it be a music cast? I mean,
I don't know. I don't actually listen to that much music.
no, neither do I. I'm just talking about more like music theory. I don't know.
Oh, wow, I just accidentally started playing a video, and I heard myself from 2 weeks ago.
That happens.
I don't know.
I really liked you guys' Christmas is terrible.
Oh, I thought I was horrible.
No, it was great. From
After I
listener's
listened to it,
perspective,
I actually texted Lauren afterwards, and I was like, I really sounded like a dick. Sorry.
I don't
It
think you
happens.
really sounded like a dick, but...
I don't know. Maybe I was just being oversensitive. I
you
was
just
definitely way drunker than I thought I was.
it's fine. It came out well. I liked how it.
Yeah,
The whole thing was good.
I listened to it back
went
and I was
full
like...
Leahy.
Well, I don't know about full Leahy, but you're working your way on it. Did you put it on the Facebook page? Do you have access to the Born in the 80s page? Okay, we sound good now. All right.
Yeah, we do.
Well, I usually have my input microphone set at 86%. and it was at 70%, so it was a little on the quiet side. But here we are.
Hey, John, did you really tweet recording the first episode of 2016?
2016?
Yeah, that's what you said.
Edit that tweet.
I can't edit it.
Oh no!
It's the internet. They'll find it. Nothing. You can't edit anything. Oh no.
Failbot
Edit.
1996.
Delete. I have to delete it because.
Deleted.
Oh, Homestar Runner. That's something that happened this week.
Oh wait, there was a new one.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
I'll keep it vague, but
Is it good? Is it a full tune?
it's a full tune. And it references the old children's books they used to write. Supposedly,
Oh.
yeah.
I think I saw a link to that somewhere, but I didn't actually listen to it yet.
I watched it on Flash first before seeing it on YouTube.
Facebook.
Oh, you did. I'm gonna share that. I like how it defaults to share it to the same page. No, on my own time.
Yeah.
Show it to the same page.
Yes, Facebook. That's exactly what I want to do. Stupid, ignorant slut.
All right,
What the heck was that?
I'm drinking, guys.
Me too. Well, I haven't started yet.
What
but
are you
it's
drinking?
In front of me. That bourbon that I tweeted about a couple of weeks ago.
Oh shit, what bourbon?
Rose something. 4 Roses.
Oh yeah, Four Roses
Oh,
is
yeah.
great. That's good shit.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started.
Making it last. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode something. Oh, there it is. Okay.
247.